Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of EverQuest Old School. I am joined by a number of really good friends. We have Terrafina joining us tonight.
I'm blind today.
She is playing her druid. We actually have two druids and two shamans. The other druid is Princess Leia. That's Nano03.
Hey, what's up?
We have the two shamans. One of them is Chupa on Sequoia.
What's up?
And the other shaman is somebody we picked up in the zone. And I am playing my warrior, which, yeah, I really like him, but this zone, like Chupa said, pretty easy for two shamans, two druids, a warrior. And we did have a bard there for a little while, though Cypher went link dead on us, so hopefully we can get him back in here pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, just there's not much more to say than that. It's a super easy camp, and we've done it many, many times in the past. So I think on this episode, I kind of want to delve into favorite video games. Now, we've talked about old school video games on the arcade. I'm kind of wondering, did you guys have a favorite console? And what made it better than all the other ones for you guys? And I'll start with Nano on that one, if you, because you've been playing a lot of those consoles lately.
For me, there's a lot of great consoles. I probably play my Nintendo right now more than anything, and that's probably the one I always go to. But always my favorite, and more for nostalgia, is going to be Sega Genesis, because that was my first console. You know what I mean? And then my most memories, and my brother and I played together on there the most, and so that's probably going to be my number one console ever, is Sega Genesis.
Did you have a favorite game on that one?
A lot of different games. I just got Shadowrun, which was one I've been looking to try to get for a really long time. And then Master of Monsters, I have that one, and I love both of those. But then, like we played all of the Sonics and, stuff like that too. So
yeah, I love the Sonic ones. Those were actually a lot more challenging than some people give them credit for. The speed at which you move on those, kind of a little bit too fast-paced at times. Like, you run into those spikes really easily and get to the end of the level with no coins or rings.
yeah, it's just one of my favorite. What I'm kind of getting into now is finding the obscure ones that I've never heard of. I just got a game for Sega Genesis when I went on vacation. I stopped at a used store. Anyway, long story short, it's called Risky Woods. I've never heard of it, and it's like a side-scroll RPG, like magician fantasy, skill up XP, get gold kind of a thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my...
Oh, do you like those types?
Yeah, I really do it.
I will do a little bit of searching online and find out the actual name of a game that me and my brothers played when we were younger. It's on the Nintendo. We could never pronounce it. It was always like Faxadana Doo-Doo is what we called it, just to make fun of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Effect Do or whatever.
Right, it's horrible. It's not even...
I have that game. I have that game on the Nintendo.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those games where they gave you the best piece of armor, the best helmet that you could possibly get in it at the very beginning, and you could never get back to that spot. So you had to kill the same one mob that dropped 2 coins for about 4 or 5 hours if you wanted to get that helmet. And there's only one way to save in that game. You had to go to a chapel, and it gave you 4 lines of code, of text, that you had to get exactly right. Because if you made one mistake when you entered that back into the save, it actually erased your old save game. Yeah, so some major issues with it, but other than that, it was amazing. There is these boots you could get to fly up to a cloud city. There was like levitation cloaks you get to kind of float back down. It was really in depth in a lot of ways, but then some big flaws in it as well. Now, what about... Go ahead.
Nintendo games were known for that, like either home runs or, just things that made you want to beat your head against the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, camera angles definitely later on in different series once they got rid of the side-scrollers.
Or cryptic stuff, like you'd be going along and you're like, I can't figure this out, and you like had to kneel at a rock and hit A, B, and then jump, and then something would appear. You know what I mean? Like, how the hell would you know that unless you just did it on accident? You know what I mean, or something like that.
I think that's what it was. Is you just did it by accident on most of those cases. Computer games, though, they had their own set of issues. I know a lot of the time for the ones that I played, like the Monkey Island, those didn't have it, but games like that, the clicking, on the screen, puzzle solving ones. Sometimes when you travel to another destination and you use gold or silver or whatever the currency was, if you traveled to too many locations, you'd run out of money, and there was no way to make more. So you had to do it in the exact order it wanted you to do it in, and that's a little nuts because nobody ever knows, the first time around what order you need to play the game in.
Yeah.
What about you, Terry? Did you play a lot of consoles? Did you have a favorite one?
PC.
I mean, yeah, you can
No,
throw that
just
in.
kidding.
It technically
I
is.
don't- basically stopped playing on consoles, I guess, after the GameCube. Because my brother just didn't buy them anymore after that. He became a PC gamer. I don't know. I never really thought about what my favorite would be. I don't think I really have a favorite. I mean, the ones that I played, they're all great for their own reasons.
Well, take us through some of them. Like, what was, like the Nintendo, what would you say was your favorite part of that one?
Well, Nintendo, like, original NES, it came out before I was born, but I still caught the end of its life cycle. So I didn't really play as many games on that one, but, I played, like, Mario and stuff, like, platformers like that, and...
So you got to experience those little dimples in your hands after holding those square remotes for hours upon hours, walking away with, like, the claw fingers.
Yeah, you gotta think my hands were pretty tiny when I started playing games.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, when I was playing them, they used to dig into my palms like crazy, and I'm like, I never thought about making them round, but I did notice the corners was an issue that I am very, very glad they spent a little bit of time and money to figure out better controls on that. Did you play any of the Segas, or was it mainly Nintendo's?
No, I mean, you could only really afford one console. My brother usually always went Nintendo. I mean, he did get a Sega Genesis eventually, but it was years later, and I think he got it on, like, sale or something. Maybe somebody was selling it.
Did you have a favorite game?
Of all time?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, for what?
for any of the Nintendo ones that you're...
Favorite game? Jeez, for Nintendo.
Because you're probably going to say Resident Evil, though, for the other ones, right? Like, just of all time.
Well, yeah, that's not a Nintendo game. I mean,
No.
the remake came out for a Nintendo console. I mean, that's not a Nintendo game. Jeez, what would be my favorite Nintendo game? I have to remember, like, all the games I've ever played by them.
Because, I know a lot of people pick the classics, the Marios, the Donkey Kongs, the Zeldas. But, sometimes somebody throws something in there that is kind of, like Nana was saying, a little bit more obscure, and people didn't hear about it as much, and tends to be absolutely amazing sometimes. I mean, if you want to think about it for a little while, we'll go over to Chupa. And what consoles did you play, man? Did you play a lot of them, or...?
Sega was my first one. Then PlayStation and stuff like that. But favorite game, probably the most entertaining game for me, anyways, is probably Ace Combat on the PlayStation.
Was that a multiplayer one or only single?
Single fighter jet type stuff.
I did
I
like.
never played that one.
Yeah, I don't think I played that one. I did like the simulators on the arcade. Those were always amazing, but was it that detailed? I mean, how much storyline did it have, or was it just kind of missions that it would send you on? I don't know if we can. I think he still hasn't muted. He's gonna be like, I was talking to you guys.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't, like, pay attention to publishers or anybody when I was young. I just played games and liked them. So I think sometimes, like, I might have played games, but I didn't realize that they were by a certain publisher.
Oh yeah, I didn't start getting into publishers until just recently, actually. I mean, Blizzard came out with so many games. Westwood came out with so many games that eventually you just remembered their name because it was on the CD from the last game you played and the one before that, and like Command and Conquer and Warcraft, and you got Ubisoft now with the Assassin's Creed, and Bungie with the Halo ones.
Always y'all's question about Ace Combat. Sorry, I had to kind of put my attention somewhere else.
That's all right, man. You got kids. No, I was just asking if it was more of a single-player mission in the sense that it had like an actual arc of stories that you each level kind of progressed through.
It kind of had an overarching storyline. Ace Combat was, dominance of the world versus, by some entity, be it another country or later on like alien forces, blah blah blah. But
oh, really? They went aliens?
Yeah. More installments, Ace Combat just kept going and going and going. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's 3. Unfortunately, 2 of them are.
Get on the shaman.
Let's see. There we go, shaman.
One more time. Spam. Dun, dun, dun. Such a spammer, dude. My bad.
But no, that sounds kind of cool. The fact that it actually had storyline, and it wasn't just because I've seen a couple of those ones in the arcade, and they were usually just here's a mission, you got survive for 30 minutes, and we got MiGs that are coming at you. Oh, you killed the MiGs. Here's 14 more airplanes. Kill those guys.
Yeah, this one was mission based. Either go and destroy a certain factory, or whatever, destroy all the land based defenses, whatever it is. And as you completed the missions, you gain credits to either buy more aircraft or expand on your current aircraft, like low capabilities and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Different weapons. That's how the first one was, anyways. The other ones kind of followed that a little bit, but it changed here and there.
That's cool though that you had land targets too. So I guess you had like SAM sites that would shoot at you, and you'd have to dodge them.
Yeah, SAM sites, tanks, things like that.
There was a racing game, I believe, on the Nintendo where you were on a bike, Road Rash, maybe. Yeah, where you would be able to upgrade your bike too as you won races. So I guess that was kind of a common theme they used in a few other games, but it was always highly enjoyable.
Dang.
Oh, congrats! What level are you now?
Awesome.
47.
Yeah.
When you get your new ports, 48 or 52?
New parts. I pretty much already have all my parts. I get new spells at 49.
Yeah. Now it's wait until the 50 so you can get Egress and Sucker.
Yep.
Wait, do we get a cell phone across here earlier?
Yeah, 52
Nice.
I think,
Mhm.
or 54 Egress.
Oh,
52.
nice. So we can rescue people, at least. I didn't remember that.
That would be kind of nice, actually. I was gonna say, is there any way to use that with a mage call of the hero thing? But I guess probably not.
The best way to do it is if somebody were to be in a zone, like say Kale. The druid can sucker out to the zone line, pick people up, and you can call it back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, they're loud.
The last days of summer. Are they still on their schedule? Or are they gonna have a hard time kind of waking up in the morning?
No, we keep on schedule pretty much all year.
Oh, okay. I know my nieces and nephews are not. They're staying up to like 2 in the morning.
Nah, dude. If it's 9 o'clock and they're still up, that's a late night. Our sanity calls for some timeouts.
Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of nice, to be able to relax at the end of the day. A little bit.
Try to, yeah.
Now, most of you guys seem to have picked different games from one another. Did you guys play a lot of genres, or did you just kind of just stick to, like flying sims or RTSs or first-person shooters, like whatever your particular genre was?
All different games.
So you don't like to lock yourself into one?
No, I think the main reason that one stuck out more than anything else, the PlayStation when it first came out was, obviously the most powerful console at the time. And the flying games before that, you had Star Fox, which I think was a quintessential flying game before that.
Man, I played the shit out of that game.
Yeah, so did I. I love Star Fox.
That was
I got so
amazing.
good at it. Now I suck at it.
But then when Ace Combat came out, it was the first one that I played anyways that wasn't on the PC, because they had plenty of PC games that were flight sim type things with actual aircraft.
And you could get the remote and the joystick, everything that went with it, with a throttle and.
We gotta pop in here, bro.
Oh, okay, I'm bringing one back with me. So the graphics wise, I know it's been a while, so you may be remembering it a little differently than it actually is. But you mentioned Star Fox. Star Fox was very much blocky, because I went back and looked at it, not the remastered version, but the original, and it's like triangles on the ships. Amazing game, I loved it, but yeah, it doesn't really hold up to the test of time as much as
the ship is made of triangles and trapezoids.
That was actually pretty amazing back then.
Oh yeah,
'cause you didn't see that sort of thing on the Nintendo until then. And that game in particular. Yeah, it wasn't really until like the PlayStation came out that we entered the age of polygons.
Is that what the Flying Ace one was? You actually got to see a little bit more detail on those?
Yeah, it was way more detailed than games before. I think that was part of the thing that I like about it so much.
There's so many of them out there now. I know there's a few of them for the VR headsets, and it's like with any game. When we play this one right here, this is EverQuest. That came out in 1999. The graphics for this game were by far better than any other game that had come out before it. Now, there's people who look at it and they're just like, wow, like I don't think I could play a game like that. I think if you had gone through the stage of, being as wowed by...
Yeah, you don't realize how amazing this game was back in the day unless you actually played it back then.
I mean, just to give some perspective, I was still playing some of those games on the computers that were literally a corridor in front of you that you'd move forward one screen, and then you could take a right, you could take a left, you see a door in front of you, a skeleton would come out. Like, that was what I was playing. Yeah, there's so many of these, like, you look at them maybe cheesy now, but that's the best they could do. And then you had a game like this that come out, and it's just like, wow, night and day difference between the two. Oh, wow, another mob. So if you guys had to pick a favorite genre of all time, I know that's kind of hard to do because people like to have different taste. What would you go with, Choops?
RPGs. I mean, it's fun.
You just get more like playtime out of it, you think, or it's just more like in-depth?
Get more enjoyment. I think you get more enjoyment out of it. I do, anyways. Overall, especially MMORPGs.
What do you think is the one thing that kind of does it for you? Just the fact that you get to grow your character, you get to build them the way you want to, or
you start from nothing and you grow, yeah. And then the MMO aspect of it, because of the fact that like what we're doing now is just enjoying it with other people and stuff.
Right.
A little bit of social aspect of the game.
What about you, Donald? Do you have a favorite genre?
Probably either RPG or adventure. I never was one for first-person shooters, to be honest.
But you like adventure games. Do you have a favorite one?
I don't know. I guess they are kind of RPG and adventure, but I mean, what would you call Zelda in them adventure or RPG? I guess. I mean, they're both kind of the same. Like games like that, Dragon Warriors, Zelda, all them kind of things.
I think I
don't really know if they're RPG.
Well, like the first Zelda wasn't really RPG. There was no leveling in that one. You did get more hearts.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones, though. To be honest, I mean,
I think it's still an RPG because you still had to go and do different the puzzle stuff, and your loot grew and gave you opportunities to go into different parts of the dungeons that you couldn't go before.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of a mix in there with it.
It's like an adventure RPG.
Yeah.
Games can be a
Adventure
mix of
dungeon crawler,
genres.
maybe. Yeah, adventure dungeon crawler. I think, like you said, the RPG aspect is the fact that you expand on your health, and that's your leveling progress.
And like you said, the equipment, I don't think there was any upgraded equipment in that one, but you did get to unlock new equipment. So that's definitely kind of a page out of RPG.
Yeah, well, different items to use and stuff. You know what I mean? Different weapons and different things you could get. Wasn't there a different suit? And I don't know about the original, but wasn't there like a blue outfit or something?
Yeah, later on, yeah. That was Super Nintendo, I believe. You could go in the water.
Yep.
I thought there was one in the first. Was there not one in the first one? I thought there was something in the
Suit?
first one.
I don't think so, right? There was just like the plank, the wooden...
Tunic or something. I know there's different shields, right?
Mhm.
It's been a while since I played the original. I'll tell you one I've never beat. Have you guys ever beat the second Zelda? Have you
No,
ever
that
played
one-
that? Oh my
No.
gosh.
So
It's
different
like
from all the other ones, and not in a good
so
way.
hard. Yeah, it's so hard, man. Like I've made it like to the second. I don't even know. You can't even say
I
they're
think
bored. But
I mean, I never played that game, but I've seen like reviews on it, and it kind of seems like me the problem with it is that the pacing of the difficulty wasn't really nailed that well. Like it's really bad. Like the second level is like balls hard,
And you didn't know where you were going.
and you like haven't really had enough time to acclimate to the game enough to handle difficulty that hard. It kind of seems to me what the problem was with it.
well, and if you die, you go back to like wherever the princess is sleeping. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
a
You
lot
don't,
of old games are like that. You die, you start over again.
Yeah. A lot of old games are worse than that. You die like on level 5 and you start at level 1 with nothing. You know what I mean? Like you just turned it on.
Did you guys ever play any of those space shooters? I mean, those were definitely, if you die at any point, you got to start all over again.
No, I wasn't into shooters too much.
Well, you
I
know,
mean, I
like
did,
you'd have
but
like
just
the
for
little
fun.
spaceship, and you know, if you killed off like an entire string of flying bots that are coming after you, one of them would drop like a power up, and you'd be able to get like extra shields or improved weapons, like those types. No.
I can't think of one. I mean, Mission Commander and all that, or Missile Command, and I remember all those, but I can't think of one specifically like how you're describing it.
Right. Yeah, I mean there is a lot of different types of games out there. Command & Conquer went the same route that what you guys were saying with the Zelda. They came out with a first-person shooter, even though that was RTS, that was real-time strategy. And it's a shock to people's systems. I think the game overall wasn't that bad, but it got horrible reviews because that's not what people were expecting. You think that was the same case with the Zelda?
Well, they went away from it right after that, so they must have figured they did something wrong.
They kind of came back to it though with later games with the whole GameCube and everything else.
But they never went side scroll.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
a throwback though.
Well, they didn't have to go side scroll because they went like 3D. You could go forward, backwards, left or
They
right.
basically came up with their like quote unquote Zelda formula with the third one. There's a lot of games after that would like I don't want to say it'd be the same, but have many of the same attributes.
It's only natural, I think, in business to see what succeeds, what makes money, and then try to copy a little bit of that or all of it. So I'd agree, there's definitely a lot of game companies out there taking from one another. But as a gamer, that is okay with me. The new Zelda game has these points that you can climb up to the top and get a bird's eye view of the surrounding area, which kind of unlocks the mini-map for you. That's straight out of Assassin's Creed. Like, that is, in one word, could be a ripoff, but for me, it's more like an homage. They're coming out with a way of saying, this is a good thing to be put into video games. Gamers enjoy it, and we're not afraid of, seeming like we're ripping it off, because it should be in more. Do you guys agree, or are you more like every game should be unique, and even if it's a good idea, it should only be reserved for the game that came out with it?
Myself, I don't mind with the same ideas.
I don't know. I mean, everything starts repeating and copying, doesn't it? I mean, I remember one time I was at work and there's this guy that said, "Oh, like everything's been done, but it's kind of interesting how like it's never done exactly the same way."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like different people have different experiences, and everybody brings something different to the table, and that's why you can have like stories that have many of the same elements of each other, but they can still be different.
What about you, Donald?
Yeah, it's all right if they use kind of the same, format. People people take from what they see and they try to build upon it. You know what I mean? So like this game, there wouldn't be a lot of MMOs out there. Whoa, hey, nice poker. You know what I mean? If this game when it came out, and then they changed things. You know, like from World of Warcraft or whatever. You know, so. Like 2 games I've really played a lot lately, or since I've been hanging out with you guys, is like DAOC and Uthgard and Everbreath, and they are not entirely different games. You know, I mean they are, but you know what I mean. They have similar things, but they're done differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, because I mean we've all pretty much played a lot of multiplayer games out there. And it's kind of what we've talked about in the past. You got to find the one that suits you, whether you're into fantasy, whether you're into space games. There's a Star Wars one that came out for that. You know, they had Aeon and Dark Ages of Camelot. And, I mean, you know, time and time again, all these different multiplayer games that are out there. There's even one that has based on conspiracy theories. So, like, every conspiracy theory you can possibly imagine has been rolled into this one game. And somehow altered just enough to make them all fit. That's pretty amazing that they could do that.
They got Jesse the Body Ventura as the host, like the superhero.
Not that I know, but I never got to play it. It was called Secret World, and it looked really good. But they were doing, you had to buy the game, you had to pay the subscription, and then they had a few pay-to-win things inside of it. So I was like, you know, those reasons alone, all 3 of them combined, just kind of put me off from actually plopping some money down on it. But
yeah,
like any one of those things I could probably live with, but if you do all 3 of them, why other games out there, like there's plenty of games out there that are MMOs that you don't have to buy them, they're free to play, and they may have pay to win, or some of them they don't even have pay to win, so it's hard to compete in that market.
I hate pay to win, dude. That's just me. So
I think so too. I mean, you're paying to win in one way or another by how many hours you spend, how much time and effort that you put into something. But I think that's what a game is supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to be able to play it and feel like you accomplished something. If I just put in, you know, a $5 bill and I get some items back, that doesn't make me feel like I earned anything. That just makes me feel like I spent money.
yeah, well, I got into that on live when they came out with those cards. What are they, LDON cards or whatever they were?
Right.
I don't know. You could buy cards and play the little card game, but then they started giving away. That was cool. Then they started giving away in-game things that you could win when you open packs. And I wrote one. People went hardcore, dude. They'd buy like, I don't know. It was like one pack was like $2, or you could buy like 100 packs for, you know, whatever they did, $49.99, and people would buy the $49.99 ones by 10 at a time. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and then sell. You know, you got the illusion of something that wasn't in the game yet out of one out of every 300 packs, and they'd take it online and they'd sell it for $500K. You know what I mean? And that's how it kind of. That was before Chrono hit. That's, I mean, you know, that was
I'm not
all
a fan
those
of
stuff
that.
was before Chrono. So
I think everything that you.
A lot of the same thing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had a card game, and every so often in the packs you get a rare card that related to an item in the game. Like the big one was the Swift Mist Saber or something like that, Ghost Saber, Spectral Saber. There you go. It was this cool looking mount. It was a cat that had this cool armor on it, and it was kind of see-through. It was like you were riding a ghost.
Right. Oh, I think you showed that one off to us once too.
No, that one I don't have.
Oh, okay.
There's a wolf one that looks very similar, but it was a cat one. The only way you could get it was through the card game.
Oh, so it doesn't drop in the game at all?
No, that thing would sell like crazy online.
Yeah, see, I don't
like for like real money and or in-game plat.
That's even worse.
Wherever you wanted to sell it. If you wanted to sell it on eBay, you could have at it.
Yeah, any game that comes out with an item, it should be found in-game and not just through the shop, because that just screams, we want your money, and we don't really care about the balance of the game.
That's
America.
Agnar too, dude. That's what they're doing in Agnar. I mean, selling the illusion swords and the illusion shields and all that. There was actually, I don't know, I think Chupin or somebody talked about it with me, or I talked about it. They had a giveaway or a deal like, hey, right now you can buy a 40 slot, 100% weight reduction backpack, good with 10 heal potions, 10 mana potions, and 10
Good lord,
XP
really?
potions for $29.99.
Wow.
And they did it for a weekend. And I bet they sold the shit out of them. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't blame them. They got to make money somehow. But for me,
okay.
if it had been those cards, I think a good idea would have been to make real cards that you could buy, and you pay a lot more than you normally would for a deck of cards, but you're supporting the game and you're getting something that you can put up on a shelf or,
Well, that was the WoW thing. The WoW thing was an actual game, just like Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a card game, but every so often you would have a rare card in the deck that had a code to redeem something in game.
See, if they
It could be
do
something
without
as
that.
simple as this isn't the correct way to say it, but a heal pot or something, or a consumable in game, or a vanity item like a lawn chair with an umbrella.
Right.
But could you imagine, like, I mean, it won't happen here, but let's just say this is P99, you're going, and they made an announcement. Tomorrow, we're starting a sale on a 40 slot backpack. I mean, it don't even have to be 0 or 100%. And we're going to sell them for $9.99. How many people on the server would buy that for $9.99?
Damn near everybody.
Probably everybody. I mean, and there's 1,500 people times $10, you know what I mean? Or whatever they decided to charge.
Yeah, but couldn't
And
you see it the other way where they're like, hey, we need to build up some capital, right? There's not enough people donating, whatever the case may be. We're going to make a EverQuest only backpack in real life. It's going to have the EverQuest symbol on it, blah, blah, blah. It's going to look like, an in-game item. We're going to charge, maybe twice as much as it normally would be worth. Again, supporting the game and getting something physical in real life without affecting the in-game economy or characters.
But that
I don't need a backpack in real life, bro.
I'm just like some item. I think there would still be enough people that would get the T-shirt or the coffee cup or whatever the case may be to make some money off of it.
would that still be illegal though?
Why would they? Well, not for P99.
Well,
for
not
sure,
illegal,
yeah.
but legal. But because I don't know like all the terms of the contract that they have with Daybreak.
They can't make any money off of it. I'm just saying if Daybreak Games did that for live, they'd perfectly
yeah.
be legal to do so, and I think they could raise capital without affecting the currency in the game.
AC, I don't know if you realize this or not, but people that sit in front of their computers and don't do anything but sit in their computers for 12 to 15 hours a day don't want a backpack. They want a pixel backpack, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in pixel land.
I guess I'm
Or they
weird
want
because
us.
I've been known to sit here for 12 or 14 hours playing this game on the weekends, but I would love to have like a backpack or, even if they had like the tunic that your character wears in game, you could put up on the wall in like a picture frame or something. Let's say you've been playing that character for 3-4 years. Like that's.
If it was something to hide you from the real world when you left your house, so you don't have to talk to real people or something, I could see it selling better. But
This is
you
the
know,
guy
like
from,
an invisibility
Grandma's Boy?
cloak.
How does he see me?
wait, I got a backpack. Now I have to go for a hike or a bike ride or pack a lunch or that's too much.
Oh, I mean, that sounds pretty nice to me. You get out in the fresh air, you can get some
I don't
sun
know.
on
Go
you,
out and be with people. I hate people.
get some fresh
You're
food.
weird, dude. AC's not real. He's fake.
It's a cyborg.
Which guys, I mean, it's not
Alien.
everybody who plays this game is stuck to its chair, but
Pop over in the king area.
I got a bet.
I'm not going to say everybody, but I'd say 55% or higher.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, it doesn't have to be something exercise related if that's the drawback. But a card game where you actually got the physical cards, that is a thing. People love card games. Like Magic the Gathering is one that you mentioned. I played that when I was a kid. I had the Sierra Angels, and they didn't tap back then. But yeah, I mean, there's other card games out there. I think the Pokemon one is pretty big now, and I think they had Yu-Gi-Oh and a few other ones.
Next, you're going to say they're going to hook a virtual treadmill up to your computer, and you have to walk the piranhas to get across the goddamn things, dude. To get
If it was VR,
Slash
that's probably what they'd have to do. But
slash Q.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know how many nerds would die that day? or everybody's gonna be waiting at the Spires and WK waiting for a what the wizards call it?
Was
Abscond?
or whatever. I don't know what.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
Evac or abscond, whichever one it's called. Yeah, that.
We're losing our second shaman. Yeah, that might be a thing, but you know, in a situation like that, mounts could play a integral role. But I think they need to make them harder. There needs to be more give and take with the mount, so that you need to actually feed it. You you have to tend to it and stuff.
This
you know?
is not Farmville, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, like, there has to be some downside, because everything in EverQuest has a upside and a downside.
Do you feed yourself? No, you don't. You
Well,
carry food in your bag.
Right. You know, so you got to be able to carry food for your animal. You got to remember to give it to
I
him.
don't see your big old mitts getting in your bag and pulling on a sandwich.
Well, I was too busy scratching my butt. You know, like, I don't want to use the same hand for that one.
You're an ogre, so deal with it, bro. It's like, oh, flavor. Yeah, man.
It's
But,
some
no, I
extra
mean,
flavor there.
there could be some tweaking to figure that method out, but I got 3 bombs here.
Once you figure you
Let's stop it in the hallway.
Keep going.
They keep respawning at the exact same time. I mean, I can't get over there fast enough.
get the shaman. I'm not rooting a shaman.
Yep, keep going.
There he goes.
I did root the pit in case somebody wants to get a pit. And I should heal you probably.
Oh, my face.
Kind of low. Group regen coming after this heal.
But yeah, I know they made some action figures for EverQuest. I've never got any of those, but they look kind of cool.
Dude, they
That
big
dude
money on
slowed
eBay,
me.
dude. Big money.
Those action figures?
Yeah. I don't know if you plan on or ever want to try to pick them up, but like $40 is the low side for an action figure.
It's not too bad for an action figure, right? I mean, that's what they go for nowadays, I think. They've gone up in
Not
price.
in the case, like not in the case or anything.
Oh,
And
okay.
up to a couple hundred if they're in the case.
I'm not kind of the guy that likes to keep them in the case. I mean, if I have something, like, I want to play with it, or, you know, move it around or put it up on a shelf, I don't want it to be in a box that I had for 40 years and never got to appreciate it.
Come on, dude, you don't. Come on.
Now, I wouldn't open one. I wouldn't specifically buy one to open it, but if I was going to buy one, I'd probably buy one that was already open.
You're not supposed to play with toys, dude.
Gotta be a kid every once in a while. You gotta have some fun. Take it on the hike with you in that backpack.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you know, you could have, you know, a sunset rendezvous with your favorite,
My buddy.
what was that, the girl's
My
name?
buddy.
The
Kid
other-
sister.
We're getting more bombs. Oh, I might have pissed off the one you're on. I'm just gonna-
No,
It's
he's
fine.
on Sequoia right now.
Just root the other one. Guys, I gotta roll out here shortly as well.
Yeah, we ended here pretty soon. We lost the other shaman too. Head back over to the entrance, and we'll see if maybe we can put something together over in Kale.
Poor Cypher.
Yeah, Cypher's not. That's not good. Well, we could always clear for him or something, you know. Like he gets, hey, can you help me clear over there, and then clear out. Yeah, help him out.
Or if he dies, I mean, we got access to three druids, sorry, not druids, clerics, right?
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen. We'll talk to him in a few days and be like, "Yeah, Zone, and I just took the death."
Or it'll be I haven't logged him in yet. He does that a lot too.
That would be good. If he hadn't done that, then we could definitely come over here and clear it. Oof,
Oh,
another shaman.
another shaman. Yeah, I'm slowing it right now.
He seems to get by like with that kind of stuff pretty easily. Remember he camped out in Charduk or went like that in Charduk. I never did hear. He got it. I don't know what happened, but he was fine.
I guess at some point when that happens, you just have to accept the fact that there's nothing you can do about it, and whatever happens, happens, and worry about it later.
I guess.
My luck, I log in and get killed right away.
Well, I mean, that's probably what would happen to most people.
Priest is up, bro.
Let me pull him back.
Yeah. Priest is solo in there right now if you want to go grab him.
You got him rooted?
Oh, the priest just
Got
healed
him.
him.
Well, that's all right. I mean, let me go pull him if you got him rooted.
Yeah, he's rooted.
And that means one less C heal that he has for himself.
We're all gonna die.
Come on, priest. Should we burn down the shaman?
Yeah, I'm dotting him up right now. Slowing the priest and dotting him as well.
Nice. Alright, so this guy only has about 2 good sea heals in him anyways.
Oh, crud. He resisted. Slow.
That's alright, he seems to still like my face.
There he goes.
And a pop.
That's cool.
I'm snaring it, pulling it over here to root it. Come on, buddy. Come over here with me. Put it right by Terra. That'd be perfect. Sorry, Terra. I'm at 20 M, guys. Just so you know.
And I'm at 25. Another pop.
Yay!
I'm at 15M.
Ooh, I know.
Slowing this one. Back on priest. They're all slow so far. Chewing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that one's on your doggy.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
long
it's
as-
fine. It's slowed.
As long as he doesn't sea heal himself, we should be good with what we got.
Cypher, play your song. Damn it.
We definitely would be a little bit higher on mana if we had the Bard song.
I have enough for an evac or 2 heals. Whichever one you want.
The heals, bro? Yeah, we got him. He's dead.
Okay.
Did you ever pick up those last shoulders?
I did from the last one. Why, did you drop
Okay.
another?
Yep.
Yay.
Guess there is okay, but... I do remember picking him up on my cleric when I came through on live. And being very grateful that I got him. Like, those were... I was still wearing bronze, I think, at that point when I was in this area.
It's got mana on them, right?
Yeah, 15. But the AC's pretty nice, and you get that extra, I think it's 5 strength? Or 7 dex. 7 dex, yeah.
Dex, 7 dex, 9 AC. Right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, 15 mana. So I am at 127 dex now.
How am I trying to heal the mob?
Traitor.
See, you guys just thought my spam was just for you guys. It's also for me. So I know what the hell I'm doing.
Oh, Targon the Rock is up.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess we will head out here, guys. Just letting the zone know that he's up. If there's any monks out there that want to kind of snag him, we'll leave him here for
Oh, wow.
the next lucky group.
Port. Stay close.
Alright, and I want to thank you guys
Your
for
doggy
watching. Yeah, as long as we're not going to the comments, I think we should be fine.
Shut up, Donald.
Watch your mouth, woman.
Yes, he's trying to talk.
Oh, yeah.
When am I not? You guys are good. Oh, man. But yeah, thanks, guys, for watching. As always, I'm AC Gamer. I'm here with Nano03.
I'm not allowed to talk.
We're with Chupa.
Take care, everybody.
And we are with Terrafina, guys.
See you.
She sounds so sweet.
She sounds so sweet there, yeah. Every other time, like, shut your mouth.
I love it.
And I say it with a deep Satan voice, too.
Yep.
It's like the anti...
Still your soul. Like that?
Give me
I didn't eat
chills, man.
vegetables. I didn't eat vegetables.
Till next time.
So
Subscribe.
like.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that. of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.